Welcome back. We've got Chef Anthony Fisher from Pittsburgh High School Culinary Arts Department in studio with us this morning. Earlier this morning, we made some awesome scallions. Scallops, not scallions. I keep confusing them with those onions. Yes, we made sea scallops, basted sea scallops.
We did basted sea scallops this morning, and we're going to do garlic shrimp gnocchi. And what I've done to prepare my shrimp is I made my shrimp exactly like I made our scallops this morning.
Okay.
And then I cut them in half so that they'd be nice bite-sized pieces. So we don't want to overload with everything that we're making this morning. So in this pan, I have under medium heat, I have my butter. And of course, you know, the first thing I've got to add is my garlic and get it in there. We're going to bring all this to a simmer, and I have my peppers. And the key on the peppers, again, as always, is make sure you cut them nice and thin.
Okay, and you're leaving the seeds with them, I noticed.
Yes, we are, because I like my spice, and I know you like a little bit of spice too.
I do. And by the way, the scallops were not too spicy.
Well, good.
No, they were just right.
I'm glad to hear that.
You could probably make them a little spicier.
I take that as a personal challenge.
Game on.
All right, so we have our butter coming together, and we have our garlic, and we have our serrano peppers. And this one I have salinated water, which means a lot of kosher salt, a lot of salt in there. Okay. And I'm bringing it to a boil because we're going to cook our gnocchi in here. And the beautiful part about this entire dish, I have about $7 worth of shrimp, and I have my gnocchi cost me $1.92. I don't make it from scratch. I intentionally buy this one in a shelf-stable variety, just like this package that we have here. It's real easy to use. You can pick it up in most grocery stores, about $1.92 to $3. So you can get a shelf-stable. This is good for about a year.
Okay.
And it's real easy to use. Just open the package and break it up.
How do you make gnocchi? I've never worked with gnocchi before.
It's mashed potatoes with flour mixed into it and a little bit of egg, and then it's rolled. And the trick is to use a gnocchi board or on a fork. I've never quite gotten mine to come out right, so for teaching purposes, I specifically use the shelf-stable ones. I do show my students how to make them, but they never come out. My texture's never right. I keep practicing. They always say, practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. So we have all of our butter and our garlic and our everything coming together really nicely. We're going to add just a little bit of brandy in there to kind of deglaze the pan and add a little sweetness.
That's great.
And this is your favorite part always.
Ooh, flames.
And we're going to let it burn down just a little bit. And I have here some heavy whipping cream. Now you can do this with half and half, but you're going to have to add fat back into it. So if you have to use half and half, don't forget to get some sour cream.
I noticed that you waited till the flames dissipated before you poured the cream on there.
Yeah, I don't want to stick my hand in those flames. Not today. It is kind of cold outside, but
I was just thinking to myself that I'm getting enough steam from the salinated water to fog up my glasses, and then all of a sudden flames burst out. So that's great.
That's a good experience. Yes.
I was like, I couldn't see to begin with, and now I'm on fire.
There we go. So we're letting our cream reduce. Everything's coming together really nicely. One of the things that you want to do with this is you want to get yourself a nice, good Parmesan cheese. Now the Parmesan cheese we're using this morning is 10-year-old aged Parmesan cheese, real Parmesan from Italy. So this particular block is about $9.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, but for something like this, you want that real Parmesan. You don't want to use the stuff out of the shaker can because that has cornstarch in it, which will in turn thicken your sauce beyond what you want it to be.
Did they put that in there as a preservative to just...
Yeah, to keep it from sticking together and clumping. So it's
which
not
it
that
still does.
Yeah, it always does. It never quite works the way that you want it to. It's good for dinner at home with the kids. But if you want something really decadent, this adds a nice earthy flavor to it. So you can kind of experience it a little bit more. So we're going to let our cream reduce down. We're going to watch it and keep an eyeball and make sure everything's coming together. Every once in a while, we're going to give it a little jiggle. It helps to mix everything. The less you touch it, the less you mess with it, the faster it's going to reduce. And you can see I'm using my good Teflon pan, which we'll talk about those next week.
Okay. Well, one of my problems whenever I cook with cream or milk-based things, like when I'm making roux and stuff, is keeping it from burning.
Take your time. Keep your heat where you can control it so you don't have to worry about it. I'm at a medium heat. It's coming up. Cooking the water right out of it. The occasional jiggle will keep it from scorching on the bottom, so I'm not too terribly worried about that end of it. And I'm just letting it go, letting it do its thing.
Okay, well, we will go
So-
ahead and, do you want to?
Well, right before we go on to break, we're going to put our gnocchi right into the water
Perfect.
and get the bowl close to the water so that you don't worry about the splashback. And when we come back, it should be pretty much done cooking.
Okay, so we got our gnocchi and we got our heavy cream that's cooking as well, and we will return
That's right.
after these messages.